Have you experienced some type of loss recently? Maybe it's a job, a loved one. Maybe it was a home. Maybe you've experienced a miscarriage, loss of a pet, or you've lost your financial well-being or even your home due to a natural disaster. First of all, I want to just bring you just my sincere condolences, my thoughts, and my prayers as we begin this video. My name is Lisa Heiss, and I want to share with you guys some practical ways and some sincere encouragement in regards to maybe going through and healing seasons of grief and losses, maybe for yourself, or maybe some ideas that you can help support someone that's going through that season. Again, my name is Lisa Heiss with Simple Living. Today, this video is a little bit different than I usually do, but I believe in this season right now, several people out there have felt the impact of, in some capacity, a loss or some kind of grief stress. If it's a loss of a loved one, or a lot of people right now are going through job losses. And so I wanted to share with you guys just some thoughts and ideas on how to walk through that season. So a little bit about myself. I have a background, 15 years background in finance. I have a degree in leadership and ministry, and also have worked in healthcare for the last 11 years. I have kind of an array of different things, but I feel like it doesn't kind of touch on not only our spiritual life, our financial life. I've got some training in regards to that, and also just working in healthcare. I've seen and worked with and come alongside some people in regards to losses. I've gone through some of my own grief counseling and training, and so that's why I'm really passionate about this subject, because grief and loss can really physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially impact not only ourselves, but generations down the line. And so that's why I wanted to bring this video and these words of encouragement. So first of all, I wanted to share with you guys quickly just one of my favorite Bible verses. It just says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with a comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God." 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. I think that's why I'm passionate about this subject, because not only have I gone through seasons of grief and losses and unfulfilled dreams, but I have felt that comfort from the Lord. I have felt that comfort not only from Him, but from other people. Maybe you're a believer, maybe you are not, and this is for anybody and everybody that's watching this. It's just something that resonates in my heart. And so that's why I wanted to share with you words of encouragement, because I have felt that love from other people that have come around myself, and I want to just come around you if you are through that season right now. And so a couple of steps, just as you are going through this season, maybe if you have lost a job or you have lost a loved one, is kind of understanding and comprehending a little bit of how grief impacts us. The experience of grief and loss is different for every person. If you're male, female, whatever, it can impact us a little bit differently, but there's definitely stages of grief. And it impacts us physically differently. And so, but one of the ways that definitely can, first of all, impact us in regards to that initial stage is what's called shock and denial. We basically can be in this physical realm, but almost in like not even here. We don't even understand what's going on, like what just happened. If you have ever had something super, like a super sudden accident, or you're like, whoa, what just happened? Or you've experienced a death of a loved one, or a natural disaster, or something that just impacted you so suddenly, you literally physically are like in a season where your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, your physical being is in shock. And you are actually the tendency during that stage is to be really, really busy. If you ever have noticed or have experienced, or maybe you're going through this stage, you find you maybe have just lost a job or a loved one, and you are really, really wanting to just stay busy. You want to get all these things done. You want to clean the house. You want to get tasks done. You're going through the funeral type arrangements. All of those kind of staying busy, numbing out, that's part of that season of shock and denial and almost this numbing stage. You want to do everything you can to avoid what's actually just happened, or what you've experienced, or what you've gone through. And that's very typical. I've literally have seen, working in healthcare down in ICU and CICU, I mean, just the faces of those who have experienced loved ones and those losses. And they're physically just, the eyes, the persona that they have, it is heartbreaking. And so I wanted to share with you just some things that you can do, kind of, like I said, kind of walking through this stage, is definitely just self-care. Taking care of ourselves physically is so important. If you are one that have always experienced and loved and enjoyed exercise, honoring your body by eating healthy, this is even more important. Or maybe you haven't in the past, it's so important to take care of yourself physically, regarding exercise and eating right, getting the proper nutrition, staying hydrated. These are all things that's going to continuously keep your body staying healthy during this season. A lot of times what happens when you go through seasons or stages or experience sources of losses is our immune system breaks down. We are more likely to get sick. We are more likely actually to get physical ailments. Stress and grief actually resonates in our bodies, our minds. If you've ever have heard about it or seen it, I know I definitely have seen it, is if you or somebody has had a loss, they're more likely, either themselves or the other person, the loved one, to have either a heart attack, a stress, more physical ailments, more sicknesses, more call outs to work, cancer, increase in cancer due to grief and losses. So that's why really taking care of ourselves during this time is even more important. A couple of things that when I was doing a grief support class, some of the things that they've definitely encouraged doing is journaling during this time, writing down, taking care of, we talked just a minute ago about taking care of ourselves physically, but what if we think about taking care of ourselves mentally and emotionally and even spiritually? It comes into play. When we journal and we begin to write down those feelings, those thoughts that we have, those even feelings and emotions of maybe anger, you're like, why did this happen? Why me? Why did that person pass away? Or why did I experience that divorce? Why did I have to lose my job? Anger is a huge normal part of grief. And I think it's so important to acknowledge and really process and feel that pain. I know that so many times when we have experienced grief, we just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to just walk through it. We want to just go on with our day. We want to just move on. But unfortunately, if we don't work through that grief and loss, what happens is our minds and our bodies and our spirits and our emotions actually will continuously feel bitterness, anger, unresolved healing. And I think that's why it's so important to begin to, in your right timing, that timing is different. Do it when you feel that it's best for you. But processing those feelings and those emotions is going to honor your mind and honor your emotions and your feelings. It's okay if you feel sad. It's okay to feel not okay. I've been there. I've had days and weeks where I have cried and not understand why did this loss happen to me. And so honor yourself, take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, maybe journaling, maybe even meeting with a counselor. Something that's been so helpful for me over the last couple of years going through grief and my own healing journey is meeting with a counselor. I've done grief counseling classes, but also going and meeting even every couple weeks, meeting with a counselor and processing and just having someone to talk to, someone who's going to just compassionately listen and give me also some tips and some ideas on how to manage this season. So my encouragement, if you have experienced or going through sources of grief or losses, I definitely encourage you guys, check out the different resources. There's a ton out there in regards to maybe counseling. There's Stephen's Ministries. I had a Stephen's Ministries leader that came alongside myself several years ago. There's grief support classes at local churches or organizations, hospitals, community centers. Reach out to your maybe local church or your hospital. Check out and see what resources are available to you that you can get just that support that you feel you need, or maybe you know that someone else maybe needs that support. I'm going to be talking a little bit in a few minutes on how you can help support others through this season. But so we've talked a little bit on how to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. But let's talk about, again, a little bit more in regards to well-being and taking care of ourselves and self-care. A lot of times when it comes to grief, we want to isolate. We don't want to go out. We don't want to stay in community. We want to stay in bed and numb out. We want to just doom scroll or watch too much Netflix. There's a space and a time where, yes, that's probably healthy and that's okay. But that is also something that we have to be a little bit careful regarding grief and loss, is we can find ourselves just numbing. And so I encourage you, if you can, as much as you can during this season, is stay connected. Stay connected with your loved ones, your family members, your friends. Maybe you're a part of a local organization. You have hobbies that you love to do and you do things with people, your local church or activity groups, community groups. This is the best time that we are needing to have that support. You need that support. During my own personal journey, I definitely tried to reach out and just say, hey, I'm having a hard time. And that's okay. If you know you're having a hard time, reach out to those people that you know that are going to come alongside you, comfort you, maybe give you a big bear hug and just encourage you. We all have those friends, those family members, those community members, those church members that's why, we're it's like a family. We're here to support other people. And maybe you're going to be turning around and supporting those people at some point. That's why I shared that Bible verse. Sometimes we're the ones that are comforted, but then we turn around and help and comfort and encourage other people. So one other great thing that I love to do, and I encourage you guys to try to do, is getting outdoors. Over the last several years, I have led hiking groups, and I've made some really wonderful friends and stayed in community actually. But I have experienced amazing health and healing by nature. God created an amazing trees and that fresh air for us to experience. And so getting exercise outside and that fresh air, being out in nature can be so rejuvenating. Just especially if it's, whenever you're watching this, if it's fall, winter, I know it's a little bit more challenging, but put on that raincoat and those boots or whatever. If you're watching this in spring or summer, you've got the sunshine, get outside, enjoy that fresh air, enjoy that nature. If it's a walk, if it's a run, maybe you enjoy going kayaking or boating or fishing or whatever brings you joy outdoors. I encourage you guys to experience that. It definitely can bring a source of health and rejuvenation and recovery and healing during this challenging season. A few other things that I encourage doing during tough seasons like this is joy and laughter. I know that might sound a little bit weird, but when maybe you've experienced just a death or a loss, but laughter actually is just imperative during this season. It's so healthy and it re-centers our brains. It actually improves our immune system by joy and focusing on laughter during this time. Maybe you have a favorite show that you love to watch or a favorite movie, or maybe you have that favorite friend of yours that you know you can go and hang out with and spend time with that you know is just gonna make you laugh. So during this time, I maybe write down a few of those activities that you love to do that's gonna bring you joy and laughter. Maybe you have some hobbies that you just love. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's crafts, it's maybe making jewelry or cooking, organizing, whatever that hobby is. Maybe it's working on your car if you're a guy. Maybe it's just going out and doing that fishing or whatever you enjoy. This is the time to embrace those hobbies, embrace those things that are going to fill your cup during this very challenging and difficult season, because it's going to balance out that grief and that kind of that downcast that you may feel. And it's okay to feel that downcast, but we also have to lift ourselves up sometimes with just those healthy things that's going to give us joy. So those are just a few of the things that I encourage doing. There's some practical ways that you can also maybe support somebody that has gone through a challenging season. When I've had some friends and some family members going through losses, one of the things that happens is right at first, a lot of times everybody's coming around that person that just experienced a death in the family or lost a child or experienced some source of loss. Everybody's around them right at first. You've always seen that. They're at the funeral. They're sending food over to the house, things like that. But what happens within a couple of days, a couple of weeks, even definitely a couple of months, everybody kind of goes back to their normal lives. Everybody goes back to work. They go back to their normal day-to-day living. But that person, they're still going through and experiencing that loss in that hard season. And that's actually when it's most important, maybe a couple months later, to check in with those people. Come alongside them. If you can, reach out to them by phone. If it's by a card, time, maybe taking that person out for a meal. Come alongside them and just listen. Sometimes people just need someone to talk to. Give them a big bear hug. One thing that a grief counselor taught was one of the best things that actually can be really healing for us during this season is physical touch. I mean, obviously being proper, but just physical touch, just maybe a soft hand on the arm or the shoulder if the person's okay, maybe a hug. That is actually pretty physically healing for seasons and times of loss. Maybe a family or a mom or a dad or somebody that has gone through losses, and you know that maybe it's just a really hard season and they need some support, and maybe it's financially, but maybe if you don't have the finances to help support, but maybe you have your time, you can come alongside those people and help support them through, like I said, taking a meal. But what about doing some small ways, maybe babysitting so they can get themselves a break from the kids and kind of take care of themselves during this season? Even cleaning the home. A lot of times what happens is when people have gone through this tough season is they let the home go. And that actually can increase stress when the house feels a little chaotic and the home is messy. So maybe you've got an hour or two, go over, do the dishes, maybe vacuum their home if they're okay. Obviously ask ahead of time, but help them to just support in those small ways. Ask them again, can I bring you a meal? Maybe they have their favorite flower. I love daisies. They're so cheery. Maybe that person has a favorite dessert. Bring them just a little something, a token to let them know that you are thinking about them. Continue to maybe write cards, letting them know that you're thinking about them or praying for them. These are a couple of things that you can do. During the holidays, this is actually one of the hardest times of the year for people who have experienced a loss of a loved one or some source of loss. I have shared some videos in the past, and hopefully I'll get another one out. Hopefully in December I'll get that out. But the holidays can be really challenging for people. The death anniversary, people's birthdays can be really, really hard. And if you can, maybe write down those dates and remember that for people. Sometimes they don't really always want to think about it, but maybe sending out a text message or giving a phone call, writing a note, or inviting them out when you know that that day is coming where they're going to be at the forefront and remembering and experiencing that death sometimes all over during that anniversary or birthday or whatever, the holidays during that time. So those are a few of the things that are really, really helpful just to help support others. Like I said, I'm going to try to get another video in regards to Christmas and the holidays. I did film a video for with the organization last year, and so it was really, really helpful for a lot of people, and I'm hoping to get that out. So stay tuned. I'll try to get that out again for people. So anyways, guys, just my thoughts and my prayers do go out to you. I really hope this has just been encouraging. Again, just a few of the ideas that we've kind of been talking about is taking care of yourself physically, getting out exercise, get outdoors, take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. Maybe reaching out to a grief counselor, a counselor, maybe you have a life coach, a mentor. There's a ton of resources. A lot of times insurance companies, your insurance companies will actually pay for counseling. Depends on your organization or your work company. A lot of churches, a lot of hospitals, community centers have classes regarding grief support. Just kind of been sharing a little bit about that. So like I said, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Take care of yourself spiritually. staying connected. Stay connected with those that are really going to help encourage and help support you during this season. But also be careful in regards to finances. This sometimes is a time where we can actually spend a lot of money. We find ourselves overspending, unfortunately, and I've done that. And many times people go into debt. They go into financial ruins because they are overspending just because they want to numb out. Few things to kind of avoid regarding times of grief and losses is being careful. If you are one that had hard times in regards to drugs, alcohol, promiscuity, maybe you've had shopping challenges, this is the time to be even more careful regarding maybe those maybe addictions that you have. Maybe reach out to those that have supported you, or you've got some AA classes, you've got some mentors, some people that come around you during this season. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear from you. What experience have you gone through? What support are you gonna maybe walk in and get some help for yourself this next couple days, this next couple months? How are you gonna take care of yourself? Put a comment down below. What fun, joyful activity are you going to do to help balance this hard season? Anyways, guys, thank you so much and for listening. If you are new, I would love to have you guys as a subscriber. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.